Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed on Nasdaq. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining us this Tuesday afternoon, we have Shawn, Cruz, manager of trader services at TD Ameritrade, to discuss Nasdaq-100 Performance, trends in the Nasdaq Volatility Index. Of course, we'll talk about Microsoft and Activision and wrap up with the 10-year. Shawn, it's great to see you. Welcome back to Trade Talks, and let's get an overview of what you're watching in the Nasdaq-100 and how Vol-Q is performing.
Yeah, I mean, taking a step back and just looking at performance right now, I was keeping an eye on that 100-day moving average. We were sort of chopping around that level. We've broken down below that here, and we're moving a little bit lower. So I'm going to see if we actually continue to sell off. We have broken through this 100-day moving average in the past, but it was relatively short-lived. So that would be something to keep an eye on if we are going to be able to maybe come back, get a little bit of a recovery if this is overdone. I would actually watch for that to happen at some point in time this week. And looking at maybe a shorter term, looking at about a 180-day chart with the 4-hour candles here, you actually see us coming down towards what was a previous support level that we had hit fairly recently. So I am going to be watching some of these levels we're at, and we're going to be trading that here over the next couple days.
All right, and let's talk about the Microsoft Activision announcement this morning. That certainly was quite the way to kick off the U.S. trading week, wasn't it?
It was. There's a lot of excitement around this. I believe Microsoft paid about a 45% premium to purchase Activision Blizzard, and they get a lot of really popular game lines out of this. I think the biggest one that a lot of people are familiar with is Call of Duty. So what a lot of people are going to be looking at is more details around exactly the timeline for this. They've already laid out a tentative timeline. They said this is going to roll up to their gaming division, which also holds their Xbox product line. So it's going to be maybe something interesting now for analysts and investors to keep an eye on. We went from trying to get a good grip on their productivity suite, how they were going to grow that, going from just the actual annual, they put out the new version, people would purchase it, moving to subscription. Then they grew their cloud business. Everyone was getting used to always focusing on their cloud and any gains they were making there. And now it looks like the gaming piece, which was already starting to get a little bit of notoriety, is going to probably be a lot more at the forefront now for analysts and investors, because you've got a little bit of a mixed view. There's some analysts out there who are saying this is going to be great, and there's some who are saying this may not be so certain exactly how accretive this could be to the bottom line. But certainly if you're someone holding Activision shares, having a pretty good day today.
Yep. And Shawn, to wrap up here, the 10-year, which of course is impacting the direction of the Nasdaq-100 as well.
Yeah, so we're looking at that 1.7% level as what had been previous resistance. We weren't really able to break meaningfully above that, but we've talked about this last week, and that is it's not just a matter of the level that 10-year yield is trading at, but it's how fast we get there. And when we get these big jumps higher, that's what induces volatility into some of these high growth names, these high growth sectors, especially technology type stocks. So looking at the 10-year and looking at things moving forward, I would actually look to see if we can get a little bit of stability once again. That's what I was looking for last week. That's what I'm always looking for when we get a big liftoff in rates, is can they stabilize around a level and get some of that volatility out? That can be a calming effect on the market that can get some buyers to come back in. And looking at Vol-Q today, you're seeing Vol-Q almost pop higher right alongside those yields. If we do get some stabilization here, we can get some buyers coming into this market. I would watch Vol-Q as maybe being an indicator that some of that fear is coming out, and seeing Vol-Q move back down towards that 20 level, to me, would be a good indicator that there is starting to be a little bit more risk appetite and some buyers coming into this market.
All right, Shawn, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.